All right.
Sorry about that, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going.
Welcome back to another weekly outlook here. This is number 4. I wanted to go over what happened last week, my performance. So the positions that I had last week that had gapped in my favor, I ended up closing them out because the gap was starting to get filled, and I netted 310 pips on that one. That was Sunday night. And then throughout the week, I took other positions that I ended up closing prior to the non-far payroll print, and that one I netted 53 pips on that one. And so I want to go over a little bit about what happened last week. We had the non-far payrolls number that came out. The non-far payrolls actually missed expectations. However, the previous number was revised upwards. The previous non-far payrolls number was 256,000 and it was revised upwards to 307,000. So although we did miss this week's print, there's still a net positive of 51,000 jobs. Also, the unemployment rate went from 4.1 down to 4%. And that's showing that the job economy is very healthy at the moment. And this gives the Federal Reserve freedom to not have to cut rates so fast. They're able to be patient and move the rate as they see fit. So as far as my stance and positioning for the week, the only one that is at a discount relative to, where the ranges are in the currencies is the dollar Canadian. Flush down back to this level here. On Sunday, we had gapped open because of the tariffs. So Trump went ahead and issued the tariffs 25% on Canada and Mexico and 10% on China. Then he went ahead and said that he and Trudeau are now going to have some negotiations about the trade deal, and so that caused a sigh of relief for dollar counterpart. All of the gains that were made on the dollar went ahead and retraced back, and so now we're at the bottom of this range, and I think it's a good time to buy because I believe that Trump will go ahead and issue the tariffs like he mentioned. So although we saw this move back down, kind of back to where it all began, I do think that we will have at least one more push up because he will be announcing the tariffs on all the countries next week or this week. The other ones like the euro are a little bit far out. You have the pound that are still far out. The Swiss has already moved. Yeah, the Swiss and the euro are the ones that I closed out prior to the non-far payroll print. So these don't really seem like ones I'm willing to add on. The only one that's at a discount is the dollar Canadian because my expected value is so high. My entry is attractive at a discount. My stop can be where it needs to be. Upside potential is at the top of the range or if we test back to these very high levels. So that is a good risk reward trade. However, another thing we really need to be careful about is the yen. On the top status page, you can see all of the yen crosses very heavily bearish. And that is because the Bank of Japan wants to continue hiking the rate. So yen shorts is something that I really would not mind participating in this week. In fact, the dollar yen, I could see testing back this 150 to 149 level. However, I wouldn't really short the dollar yen just because the rate differential is so high. So the problem with shorting the yen is that you're gonna have to pay some heavy swap. So here you can see that shorting the yen pairs is quite expensive. You have right here the interest rate divergence is what you will essentially go ahead and pay for being in the trade every single time, every single night that you carry over. So 4%, 3%, you're going to be paying up to 4% a day if you're holding the trade overnight to the broker. And the only one that's not that expensive to participate in the yen trade is the Swiss yen because they both have a half a basis point interest rate. So that's the only one that won't be so expensive to trade. So if I were to go ahead and take a yen trade, it'd probably be on the Swiss. So that's pretty much where I'm at for the week. I'm only going to participate in the dollar strength through the Canadian dollar because it's been so strong in the past and it's the one that's at the biggest discount. And then if I do participate in the yen, if they do kind of push more of this, rate hike environment, then I will participate it through the Swiss yen if I get a good level. If not, I probably just won't be in it. But thank you for watching. If you find value in this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Bye-bye.